Hi there, everyone. My name is Denise Gagner, and I'm coming to you today from Andover, Minnesota. Before we get into our topic of discussion, I want to give you a little bit of background about who I am. For much of my life, I've had two big interests that has been income for me. But interests besides the income part, they've just always been a great interest to me. And the first is that I worked in portrait photography for almost 30 years, well, probably 30 years. First of all, as a freelance photographer, and then with full-time in a studio. And the last 12 years, I worked in my own studio. I owned my own business. In addition to that, I have had an interest in alternative medicines, and that too has spanned about 30 years. But 7 years ago, almost like exactly, it was the spring of 2012, I was suffering greatly from Lyme disease and adrenal exhaustion, and really began focused attention on getting healthy and cleaning up my body, and identifying what I could do to not only help myself but to help others as well. And along that journey, one pivotal wisdom that I came upon that has been very much a part of who I am, it's very interesting to me, is the 5 elements of traditional Chinese medicine. And I have taught classes in that extensively. I also still do one-on-one consultations. I'm not teaching the classes as often anymore, but maybe I should. Anyway, so from about this time in 2012 until about 16, 17 months ago, my interest was very much around the body, the health of our body, and helping others with the health of their body too, the symptoms that they were having. And then on Halloween of 2017, my granddaughter was born, and that changed everything. And also, just to extend the who am I part of all of this, I closed down my portrait studio when I moved to where I live now about 2 years ago. And currently, I get to take care of my granddaughter Monday through Friday. And she absolutely brings me so much joy. I love her so very much. She's very important. And so what happened when she was born is that my interest of health of the body started getting a little more expansive. Instead of looking at the 5 elements, which is expansive, I started looking at the home, an environment, most especially toxins. And so my question or topic of discussion today is, does the health of our home affect the health of our body? And I'm going to share 4 tidbits of information, but here is 3 pivotal reasons why. Number 1, most recently, is because of Adeline, my granddaughter, and also because of my son. My son does not have a sense of smell, and he was the first person in our families who could identify with having allergies. I remember he was 5 years old, and we identified he definitely had allergies, and we were, looking like, who else has allergies in the family, thinking as though the only way you could have allergies was because of genetics. Well, for, that was 34 years ago. He's going to be 39 this coming Saturday. And, back then we just had different knowledge and lack of knowledge, really. Now, especially now, I know with the studying that I've done, how cleaning products so greatly affect our health. It can affect the sinuses, the health of our sinuses. It can affect our lungs. I'll be sharing that. It affects our skin. It affects our thyroid. It affects our central nervous system, headaches, fibromyalgia. I know there's so much more that I'm not even thinking of. My son had crazy health effects that wasn't from genetics. My granddaughter's just 17 months old, and she really made me go look at this a little bit stronger. And then in the process, there was a little nugget of information that I gathered, and I realized that it's not just the little pipsqueak kids that we have in our homes that are so greatly affected. Adults are, but the toxins in our home our cleaning products give off what is called off gases. And these off gases are heavy gases, and they lurk or linger on around the floor. The lower, my assumption is 3 feet. I don't know for sure, but that's where I'm thinking. So it doesn't just affect kids. It doesn't just affect the adults who are using the cleaning products. It doesn't just affect the kids because they're low to the ground, but it also affects our pets as well. And I just started thinking back on friends and family I know who've had multiple pets who've had similar symptoms. And I'm like, I wonder. So those are the 3 things that kind of popped up for me, but there's 4 bits of information that I want to share with you, and I'm going to share my screen in order to share them. Sorry, get rid of that. So the first is this. This is a study that was done by 28 researchers in 9 different countries. It's an independent study, not done by any company at all. And they identified that when you clean your house once a week with traditional brand cleaners that are most popular, it is equal, it has the same damage to your lungs as if you were to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. I have to repeat that. When you clean your home once a week, it gives the same damage to your lungs, the same effect as if you were to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Can you believe that? When I heard this, it's crazy. And the interesting thing is, just yesterday, there was something that I wanted to clean that was a little bit tough, extra special time. And I went and got my clean product, but I realized that I still had some CLRX, I don't remember the name of it, that was on the shelf. That all of that was gone. It was back and where I couldn't see it. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to put this on, because what I was working on was 2 pieces of metal that were stuck together. And it took hours of that to dissipate from the house. And the metal that I sprayed was very small. And I started noticing that I was coughing, not a lot, but there was irritation in my lungs. Prior to my knowledge of this, I would not have even thought about that I was coughing. It wasn't a lot, but I was more aware of that irritation. The other then is, what are toxins? There are chemicals that are good. I mean, air and water are chemical. And then there are toxins. And you want to have products that don't include toxins. That's chlorine, bleach, ammonia, abrasives, phosphates, quaternary disinfectants, which are based around ammonium chloride, and then phthalates, which you will also see in like shampoo and different cleaning of soaps and such. Triclosan, parabens, formaldehyde, all of these are in like our shampoos and soaps. If you have products that don't have these included, you can actually have cleaning products that don't require a child-proof cap. Now, why? Oh, I'm sorry, got sidetracked. One of the things I wanted to reach back on is the bleach and ammonia, because when my son was little, I often in our apartment cleaned with ammonia and bleach, often at the same time. I hate to even think of that now. It's so sad. So what if it was that affected my son's sense of smell? This is the first time I've ever said that out loud, and I'm going to need to go talk to him tonight. The other things that I want to share with you are here. This is 2 different articles that I just read today. I'm going to read just a little bit of each as quickly as possible. More than 90% of the world's population lives in a place where the outdoor air quality is harmful to human health, according to the World Health Organization. While that statistic is pretty darn scary, the fact that the Environmental Protection Agency says that the air inside our homes and businesses is 5 times more polluted than that of the outdoors really gives pause for thought. While it's hard for us as individuals to control what's in the air we breathe outside, we certainly can take control of the air quality in our homes. Children are especially high risk for indoor air pollution, which has been linked to several childhood respiratory issues and doubles the risk for childhood pneumonia. According to the World Health Organization, this is hard to say. Half of deaths among children under 5 years old related to lower respiratory infections can be directly linked to particulate matter present in indoor air pollution, primary from household solid fluids. Okay, now I'm going to read this here real quick. Over the past 15 years, more than 10,000 Americans have had their blood tested by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in an attempt to determine their chemical body burden. The results of the CDC study were stunning. Even those who lived in remote areas were found to have hundreds of synthetic chemicals in their bloodstream. More disturbingly, this chemical exposure begins even before we take our first breath. An astounding 287 chemical toxins have been detected within the umbilical cord blood of newborns. I'm going to stop there. This is astounding, and it's something that we need to be aware of. When you don't know, you don't know, and all is good. But once the awareness is brought to you, you start needing to ask questions about how much of this is true, and what can I do. And I do believe that even with those two things that I've just shared with you, that you can take some of it with a grain of salt, but you can't dismiss it all. It can't be done, because it's a fact that as we've been adding more and more chemicals to our environment and our homes, we are becoming sicker and sicker. It's a fact. I'm 59 years old. I feel as though I have gone through this transformation of this occurring. Now, there's a particular tidbit, a golden nugget that I've seen frequently, and I'm going to share it with you. I also want you to take it with a grain of salt. I will share what it is. That is that the chemical toxins from cleaning products takes simply just 26 seconds to get to the bloodstream. Now, what I want you to wrap this with is that not all toxins take just 23 or 26 seconds. Some take longer. Maybe some don't get in. I know, say for instance, there are some healthier sunscreens that will include ingredients that create a barrier on the skin, so that things don't get absorbed into the skin. I also just read, it might have been that same article that I just finished there, that 60% of what goes on your skin goes into your body. Again, take some of it with a grain of salt. Maybe it's not 60%. Is 40% okay? Is 20% okay? No, it's not. Okay, so I need to rein this in. It's getting longer than I want. My desire is to create a healthy life for my granddaughter, to protect her. That's what I want to do. Of course I do. To protect her. I want to do a better job with her than I did with my son. And if I can share information that I'm learning with you, then maybe you can go and protect your granddaughter and your grandson and your baby girl and your little boy. I just want to share. I would love to be able to help you. So there is a particular brand of product that I am using. I would like to share that with you. I'm not going to share the brand publicly because I just don't want to be a commercial. But you can find me on Facebook and send me a private message. It's under Denise Gagner, Gagner. Also, if you just want to, you can look at my personal page and you'll learn a little bit about me there. But I also have another Facebook page called The Well. And it is everything from the 5 elements to feng shui and reflexology and herbalism, and healthy foods and how foods affect your body, and so much more. There's laughter, there's inspiration, there's all kinds of different things. So you can come hang out there. There's really not a lot about the toxins and such that I put there. A little bit, but not too much at all. Anyway, I would love to connect with you. I would love to inspire you. I would love to help you. I can bring to you my knowledge of the 5 elements, as well as the chemicals. So Thank you for joining me here today. Have a fantastic day. Take good care. Bye-bye now.